Question 1. An Agile team recently started using Kanban to manage their workflow. They observe that work items are frequently blocked, and the flow is inconsistent. Which Kanban principle would be most effective in identifying and addressing these bottlenecks? A. Make policies explicit. B. Limit work in progress, WIP. C. Manage flow. D. Implement feedback loops. Answer: C. Manage flow. In Kanban, the principle of the manage flow directly addresses the issue of inconsistent progress and blockages by focusing on optimizing the movement of work through the system. Rather than micromanaging individuals, this principle encourages identifying and eliminating impediments to smooth delivery, ensuring that value moves continuously without unnecessary delays. For instance, if a specific stage consistently has long queues, managing flow would lead the team to investigate and resolve the root cause of that bottleneck. Always prioritize seeing the work as a continuous stream and working to make that stream as smooth as possible. Question 2. A long-standing Agile project has experienced significant team member turnover, resulting in a loss of institutional knowledge and decreased productivity. Which Agile practice is specifically designed to mitigate the impact of such knowledge loss within a team? A. Maintaining a comprehensive risk register. B. Implementing pair programming. C. Conducting regular backlog refinement sessions. D. Developing detailed technical specifications. Answer: B. Implementing pair programming. Pair programming is an extreme programming (XP) practice where two developers work together at one workstation on the same code, with one writing code and the other reviewing it. This practice inherently promotes knowledge sharing and distributes understanding of the code base across multiple team members, significantly reducing the risk of knowledge silos when someone leaves. For example, if one programmer leaves, the other who paired with them retains the context and understanding of the features they built together. Encourage pairing on complex tasks to build collective code ownership and reduce the impact of personnel changes. Question 3. During a sprint review, stakeholders express concern that the product increment, while functional, does not seem to address their most critical business need, which has evolved since the last review. What Agile principle has been insufficiently applied here? A. Self-organizing teams. B. Sustainable pace. C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. D. Responding to change over following a plan. Answer: D. Responding to change over following a plan. The Agile principle of responding to change over following a plan emphasizes adapting to evolving requirements and new information rather than rigidly adhering to an initial, fixed plan. When stakeholders' critical needs change and the product increment doesn't reflect this, it indicates that the team might have prioritized the original plan over adapting to the new information. For instance, if a market shift occurs, a truly Agile team would reprioritize and pivot, even if it means altering previously committed features. Always remember that agility means being able to adjust direction quickly to deliver the most current value. Question 4. An Agile team is struggling to estimate the size of complex features, leading to inaccurate sprint forecasts and commitments. Which estimation technique, commonly used in Agile, would best help the team collaboratively arrive at relative estimates for these features? A. Critical Path Method, CPM. B. Earned Value Management, EVM. C. Planning Poker. D. Three-point estimation. Answer: C. Planning Poker. Planning poker is a consensus-based, gamified technique used by Agile teams to estimate the relative size of user stories or features, often using Fibonacci sequence numbers. Team members individually make an estimate, then reveal them simultaneously, and discuss significant discrepancies until they reach a consensus. This approach leverages the collective knowledge of the team and highlights different understandings, leading to more accurate and shared estimates. For example, if one team member estimates a story as a 2 and another as an 8, their discussion will uncover why, leading to a more informed group estimate. Encourage your team to use collaborative estimation techniques to build shared understanding and commitment. Question 5. A Scrum Master observes that the team consistently defers difficult conversations about technical debt, preferring to focus solely on new feature development. This behavior is leading to escalating maintenance issues and slowed progress. Which Scrum value is being compromised the most in this scenario? A. Commitment. B. Focus. C. Openness. D. Respect. Answer: C. Openness. The Scrum value of openness encourages team members to be transparent about their work, challenges, and feelings, fostering an environment where issues like technical debt can be discussed candidly and addressed. When a team avoids confronting difficult truths, like the growing burden of technical debt, they are not being open with themselves or stakeholders, which can undermine the health of the product and the team's ability to deliver sustainably. For example, if the team openly discusses the long-term impact of technical debt, they can then make an informed decision to dedicate time to address it. Cultivate an environment where everyone feels safe to voice concerns and share truths, even uncomfortable ones. Question 6. A large organization is transitioning to Agile, and several project managers are concerned about losing their roles and responsibilities. How does the concept of servant leadership address these concerns within an Agile context? A. It redefines their role to focus on dictating tasks and enforcing schedules. B. It shifts their focus from controlling work to supporting and enabling the team. C. It requires them to become technical experts and write code alongside the team. D. It empowers them to make all critical product decisions without team input. Answer: B. It shifts their focus from controlling work to supporting and enabling the team. Servant leadership in an Agile context means that the leader's primary role is to serve the team by removing impediments, providing resources, coaching, and protecting them from external distractions, rather than commanding or controlling. This reframing of the project manager's role from a traditional boss to a servant helps alleviate concerns by emphasizing their continued value in enabling team success and fostering a productive environment. For example, a servant leader would facilitate a session to resolve a team's tooling issue instead of assigning blame for its existence. Embrace the mindset of supporting your team's success by empowering them and clearing their path. Question 7. An Agile team is consistently delivering features, but end users are not adopting them as expected, indicating a mismatch between the delivered functionality and actual user needs. Which of the following Agile concepts is primarily concerned with ensuring the product truly meets user needs and delivers business value? A. Iterative development. B. Value-driven delivery. C. Test-driven development, TDD. D. Sustainable pace. Answer: B. Value-driven delivery. Value-driven delivery is a core Agile concept focused on continuously delivering valuable functionality that meets genuine customer and business needs. It prioritizes understanding what brings the most benefit and ensuring that development efforts are aligned with those high-value items, rather than simply delivering features for features' sake. If users aren't adopting features, it suggests the delivered items aren't truly valuable to them, highlighting a failure in the value-driven approach. Always strive to understand the true needs of your users and deliver what matters most to them. Question 8. A product owner is having difficulty prioritizing the backlog items for the next iteration, as there are many urgent requests from different stakeholders. Which Agile prioritization technique would be most appropriate to help the product owner objectively rank these items based on their importance and dependencies? A. First in, first out, FIFO. B. Weighted shortest job first, WSJF. C. Critical chain method. D. Simple vote. Answer: B. Weighted shortest job first, WSJF. Weighted shortest job first, WSJF, is a prioritization model used to sequence jobs, e.g., features, epics, capabilities, to maximize economic benefit by dividing the cost of delay by the job duration. It helps product owners make objective decisions when faced with multiple urgent requests by quantifying the economic value and effort, ensuring that the most impactful items are worked on sooner. For instance, if two features have similar effort but one has a much higher potential revenue impact, WSJF would prioritize the higher revenue feature. Use WSJF to make data-driven prioritization decisions that align with business value. Question 9. An Agile team decides to conduct a spike before committing to a complex user story. What is the primary purpose of a spike in an Agile project? A. To perform extensive user acceptance testing before development begins. B. To create a fully functional, deliverable prototype of the user story. C. To investigate a technical or functional unknown, reduce risk, and gain knowledge. D. To fix all identified defects from the previous iteration. Answer: C. To investigate a technical or functional unknown, reduce risk, and gain knowledge. A spike is a time-boxed research or exploration activity undertaken by an Agile team to investigate a technical challenge, a complex requirement, or an unknown aspect of a user story, specifically to reduce uncertainty and risk. It doesn't produce deliverable product code but provides the necessary information to confidently estimate and plan the actual development work for the user story. For example, a team might use a spike to research the feasibility of integrating a new, unfamiliar third-party API. Use spikes strategically to tackle unknowns head-on and make better-informed decisions about future development. Question 10. A Scrum Master notices that the daily stand-up meetings are becoming long and unfocused, with team members often delving into problem-solving discussions. What advice should the Scrum Master provide to help the team improve their daily stand-up effectiveness? A. Encourage the team to use the daily stand-up for detailed problem-solving. B. Remind the team that the daily stand-up is for coordinating activities and identifying impediments, not problem-solving. C. Suggest moving the daily stand-up to once a week to allow for more in-depth discussions. D. Advise team members to prepare detailed status reports to read aloud during the meeting. Answer: B. Remind the team that the daily stand-up is for coordinating activities and identifying impediments, not problem-solving. The daily stand-up, or daily scrum, is a brief, time-boxed meeting for the development team to synchronize activities, inspect progress toward the sprint goal, and identify impediments. Its purpose is coordination and quick information sharing, not detailed problem-solving or lengthy discussions, which should occur immediately after the stand-up with only relevant parties. For example, if two team members discover a conflict in their code, they should note it during the stand-up and then meet separately to resolve it. Keep your daily stand-ups focused on quick updates and impediment identification to maintain their effectiveness and brevity. Question 11. An Agile project team has implemented continuous integration, CI, as a practice. Which outcome is a primary benefit of integrating code frequently and automatically? A. Increased need for manual testing at the end of the project. B. Early detection of integration issues and faster feedback. C. Reduced collaboration among development team members. D. Longer release cycles due to complex builds. Answer: B. Early detection of integration issues and faster feedback. Continuous integration, CI, is a development practice where developers frequently merge their code changes into a central repository, and automated builds and tests are run on each merge. The primary benefit is the early and rapid detection of integration errors, such as conflicting code or broken functionality, which allows developers to fix issues quickly before they become larger, more complex problems. For example, if a new code change breaks an existing feature, CI's automated tests will immediately flag it, preventing the broken code from propagating. Embrace CI to ensure your codebase remains healthy and stable throughout the development lifecycle. Question 12. A product owner consistently brings new, urgent requirements directly to the development team during a sprint, often disrupting the team's planned work. What Agile principle is being violated, and how should this be addressed? A. customer collaboration, the team should immediately implement all new requests. B. Self-organizing teams, the team should refuse to accept any new requirements. C. Sustainable pace, new work should be introduced only through the product backlog and sprint planning. D. Adaptability, the product owner should have absolute authority to inject new work at any time. Answer: C. Sustainable pace, new work should be introduced only through the product backlog and sprint planning. While Agile embraces change, introducing new, unplanned work directly into a sprint without proper process disrupts the team's focus and commitment to the sprint goal, violating the principle of sustainable pace. New requirements should be added to the product backlog, prioritized by the product owner, and then considered for a future sprint during sprint planning to ensure the team can maintain a consistent, healthy rhythm of work without burnout. For instance, if an urgent bug arises, it may warrant an exception, but new feature requests should follow the regular planning cycle. Encourage discipline around the sprint boundary to protect the team's focus and maintain a consistent delivery pace. Question 13. A newly formed Agile team is struggling with decision-making, as individual team members often wait for a designated leader to provide instructions. Which Agile concept needs to be reinforced to improve their autonomy and effectiveness? A. Hierarchical management. B. Centralized control. C. Self-organization. D. Command and control. Answer: C. Self-organization. Self-organization is a core Agile concept where teams have the autonomy and responsibility to decide how best to accomplish their work without being micromanaged. When team members defer decisions, it indicates a lack of self-organization, hindering their agility and ability to adapt quickly. For example, instead of waiting for a manager to assign tasks, a self-organizing team would collectively decide who works on what based on skill, availability, and priority. Empower your team to make decisions and solve problems together. It fosters ownership and innovation. Question 14. An Agile team is performing a retrospective after a challenging sprint where several blockers impacted their progress. What is the primary purpose of a sprint retrospective? A. To review the product increment with stakeholders and gather feedback. B. To determine the team's velocity for future sprint planning. C. To inspect how the last sprint went with regards to people, relationships, process, and tools, and to identify improvements. D. To refine the product backlog and estimate new user stories. Answer: C. To inspect how the last sprint went with regards to people, relationships, process, and tools, and to identify improvements. The sprint retrospective is a dedicated time for the Agile team to look inward and reflect on its own performance, processes, and interactions during the previous sprint. The primary goal is to identify what went well, what could be improved, and to commit to specific, actionable improvements for the next sprint, fostering continuous improvement. For instance, if communication was a challenge, the team might decide to implement a daily 15-minute sync specifically for complex topics. Always dedicate time for your team to learn and adapt from their experiences to continuously improve their way of working. Question 15. A crucial stakeholder often provides feedback that contradicts previous input, leading to confusion and rework for the Agile team. What Agile principle emphasizes the importance of managing stakeholder expectations and continuous engagement to mitigate such issues? A. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. B. Working software over comprehensive documentation. C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. D. Simple design. Answer: C. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. The Agile principle of customer collaboration over contract negotiation highlights the importance of continuous, close interaction with stakeholders and customers throughout the project lifecycle to ensure alignment and shared understanding. When feedback is contradictory, it often indicates a breakdown in this ongoing collaboration, where expectations may not be clear or have shifted without sufficient communication. For example, regularly involving the stakeholder in sprint reviews and backlog refinement sessions can help build rapport and ensure their evolving needs are understood proactively. Prioritize frequent and open communication with your stakeholders to build trust and ensure alignment. Question 16. During a sprint, a developer identifies a critical defect in a previously delivered feature. The team's definition of done, DoD, states that all code must pass unit tests, but this defect was missed. What does this situation primarily indicate about the team's DoD? A. The DoD is too restrictive and should be loosened. B. The DoD needs to be reviewed and potentially strengthened to prevent such defects. C. The team should stop using a DoD and rely on individual quality checks. D. The defect is external to the team's responsibility and should be ignored. Answer: B. The DoD needs to be reviewed and potentially strengthened to prevent such defects. A robust definition of done, DoD, serves as a quality gate, ensuring that all necessary activities, like thorough testing, are completed before a work item is considered done. If a critical defect slips through, it suggests that the current DoD is insufficient for catching such issues, indicating a need for the team to inspect and adapt their definition. For instance, the team might decide to add peer code reviews or more comprehensive integration tests to their DoD to improve quality. Regularly inspect and adapt your definition of done to continuously raise the quality bar and reduce escaped defects. Question 17. An Agile team is preparing for their first release and is discussing how to ensure the product meets quality standards throughout the development lifecycle. Which Agile testing practice focuses on building quality in from the start by writing tests before the code? A. Exploratory testing. B. User acceptance testing, UAT. C. Test-driven development, TDD. D. Regression testing. Answer: C. Test-driven development, TDD. Test-driven development, TDD, is a development practice where developers write automated tests for a feature before writing the actual code that implements the feature. This test-first approach helps to clarify requirements, ensures that the code meets those requirements, and promotes a clean, modular design, ultimately improving code quality and reducing defects from the outset. For example, before writing a login function, a developer would first write a test that asserts a user can log in with valid credentials. Embrace TDD to ensure you are building the right thing, and building the thing right, from the very beginning. Question 18. An Agile team consistently struggles to deliver the committed features by the end of the sprint, often carrying over unfinished work. What concept, derived from empirical process control, is the team failing to apply effectively? A. Transparency. B. Adaptation. C. Inspection. D. All of the above. Answer: D. All of the above. The situation indicates a failure in all three pillars of empirical process control: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency is lacking if the true state of progress isn't clear, inspection is failing if the team isn't effectively assessing their ability to complete work within the sprint, and adaptation is failing if they aren't adjusting their sprint commitments or processes based on what they learn. For example, if the team transparently reveals their true capacity during sprint planning, transparency, inspects their progress daily, inspection, and then adjusts their approach or scope when issues arise, adaptation, they are more likely to deliver what they commit to. Remember that these three pillars are interdependent and essential for effective Agile delivery. Question 19. A development team consistently delivers working software, but the product owner expresses frustration that they don't feel a strong sense of ownership over the product vision and roadmap. What Agile role might be missing or not fully engaged in this scenario? A. The Scrum Master. B. The Project Manager, traditional. C. The Product Owner. D. The Business Analyst. Answer: C. The Product Owner. The Product Owner is the Agile role primarily responsible for defining and communicating the product vision, managing the product backlog, and ensuring the development team is building the right product to maximize value. If the product owner feels disconnected from the product vision or roadmap, it indicates a fundamental breakdown in the core responsibilities of this role. For example, a highly engaged product owner would regularly interact with stakeholders and the team to articulate the why behind features, fostering a shared understanding and sense of ownership. Ensure your product owner is empowered and actively engaged in guiding the product's direction. Question 20. An Agile team relies heavily on internal expertise for technical decisions. However, a critical new feature requires knowledge of an emerging technology that no one on the team possesses. Which Agile practice would promote broader knowledge acquisition and cross-training to address such gaps? A. Creating detailed functional specifications. B. Encouraging individual siloed work. C. Promoting T-shaped skills and cross-functional training. D. Outsourcing all complex technical tasks. Answer: C. Promoting T-shaped skills and cross-functional training. T-shaped skills refer to individuals who have deep expertise in one area, the vertical bar of the T, but also possess a broad understanding and some proficiency across other areas relevant to the team, the horizontal bar. Encouraging T-shaped skills and cross-functional training helps teams become more versatile, reduces reliance on single points of failure, and allows members to pick up new technologies and support different aspects of the work when needed. For instance, a developer who primarily codes might learn basic database administration or UI design to support the team's needs. Invest in developing T-shaped individuals on your team to increase their adaptability and resilience. Question 21. A project has entered the scaling Agile stage, involving multiple Agile teams working on a single product. Which challenge is most likely to emerge regarding dependencies and integration across these teams? A. Decreased need for cross-team communication. B. Simplified management of shared codebases. C. Increased complexity in managing inter-team dependencies and ensuring cohesive integration. D. Elimination of the need for release planning. Answer: C. Increased complexity in managing inter-team dependencies and ensuring cohesive integration. When scaling Agile to multiple teams working on a single product, the primary challenge becomes managing the intricate web of dependencies between teams and ensuring that their individual increments integrate seamlessly into a cohesive whole. Without careful coordination and communication, different teams might unknowingly create conflicting code or features, leading to significant integration issues. For example, if two teams are working on different parts of the same user interface, they need strong coordination to ensure consistency and avoid conflicts. When scaling, focus heavily on mechanisms that foster clear communication and coordination across teams to manage dependencies effectively. Question 22. An Agile project is experiencing frequent changes in requirements, even after development has begun. The team is feeling overwhelmed by the constant shifts. What type of Agile contract might be most suitable to provide flexibility while still managing expectations and budget? A. Fixed price contract. B. Time and materials, T&M, with a not-to-exceed clause. C. Firm fixed price, FFP. D. Cost plus fixed fee contract. Answer: B. Time and materials, T&M, with a not-to-exceed clause. A time and materials, T&M, contract, especially one with a not-to-exceed, NTE, clause, offers a good balance for Agile projects with evolving requirements. T&M provides flexibility as the customer pays for the actual time and resources used, allowing for changes, while the NTE clause provides a cap on the total cost, giving the customer some budget predictability. This contrasts with fixed-price contracts which are rigid and punitive for changes. For example, if a client has an initial idea but expects it to evolve, a T&M with NTE ensures they can adapt without unlimited financial exposure. Consider flexible contract types that align with the Agile mindset of embracing change when requirements are likely to evolve. Question 23. An Agile team is finding it difficult to gain feedback from stakeholders quickly enough, leading to potential misinterpretations of requirements and delayed validation. What Agile tool or practice would best facilitate rapid and continuous feedback from stakeholders? A. Extensive upfront documentation. B. Infrequent, large-scale formal reviews. C. Information radiators and frequent demonstrations of working software. D. Detailed email updates to all stakeholders. Answer: C. Information radiators and frequent demonstrations of working software. Information radiators, such as Kanban boards or burn-down charts displayed prominently, provide real-time visibility into the team's progress, while frequent demonstrations of working software, like sprint reviews, offer tangible increments for stakeholders to inspect and provide immediate feedback. These practices promote transparency and rapid feedback loops, enabling stakeholders to see the product evolve and correct course early, preventing significant misinterpretations and delays. For example, showing a partially implemented feature in a review allows stakeholders to suggest changes before significant effort is wasted. Prioritize transparent communication and frequent validation to ensure you're building the right product. Question 24. A product owner is struggling to prioritize backlog items effectively because they lack a clear understanding of the overall business value and strategic goals. Which Agile artifact would provide the necessary context for more informed prioritization decisions? A. Release burn-down chart. B. Sprint backlog. C. Product vision or roadmap. D. Team charter. Answer: C. Product vision or roadmap. The product vision articulates the long-term goal and purpose of the product, outlining what it aims to achieve and for whom, while the product roadmap details the strategic direction and potential releases over time. These artifacts provide the essential high-level context and strategic guidance that enables a product owner to make informed decisions about prioritizing backlog items, ensuring alignment with overarching business objectives. For instance, if the vision emphasizes market expansion, items supporting that goal would naturally receive higher priority. Always ensure your backlog prioritization is guided by a clear and well-communicated product vision. Question 25. An Agile team has embraced lean principles and is focusing on identifying and eliminating waste in their development process. Which of the following is considered a form of waste in lean software development? A. Producing features that are not used by customers. B. Conducting daily stand-up meetings. C. Engaging in pair programming. D. Performing automated unit tests. Answer: A. Producing features that are not used by customers. In lean thinking, waste refers to any activity that consumes resources but does not add value from the customer's perspective. Producing features that customers don't use, often called overproduction or extra features, is a significant form of waste in software development, as it consumes development effort, testing time, and maintenance resources without providing any benefit. For example, building complex reporting features that no user ever accesses is a clear waste of effort and resources. Continuously question if every feature genuinely delivers value to avoid investing in unnecessary work.